Oh, marathon training. Yeah, I know, it can be a little confusing, especially if this is your first marathon and you don't know where to start. There's a lot of information out there, so Coach Morgan here from the Run Experience, and I'm gonna break it down for you today. I have picked out just a few things that you really need to focus on when building your marathon training plan so that you are gonna feel confident and ready going in to run those 26.2 miles. Let's go. Start early. Most marathon training plans range from 12 to 20 weeks. So make sure you plan accordingly. And it's definitely gonna make you feel more stressed about the time crunch you've put yourself in. While you're training for a marathon, you're gonna be aiming to run between 3 and 5 times a week. And most of these runs are gonna be at a fairly easy conversational pace. When you're building up your mileage, you never want to increase your weekly mileage by more than 10% each week. That's why giving yourself all this time to properly build up is super important. We need to get the body ready to handle the increase of stressors that you're putting on the body week after week. So while you're building up this mileage, you're also going to want to be building upon your strength training as well. By adding in the strength training, you're going to allow your body to build the strength that it needs to handle all of the impact from running. And just doing these 2 short sessions a week is really gonna help you start to build that habit of getting in that strength training, which is super important to your running. The long run. This is a crucial piece of the puzzle that goes into your marathon training. These runs are gonna be done a lot slower than your marathon pace or for your predicted pace. You should aim for 1 to 2 minutes slower per mile than what you wanna race your marathon in. This is going to help you build confidence with the longer miles and let your body adjust to those longer and longer miles. Your long run should be done once a week, and you're gonna be building the distance by 1 or 2 miles each week. Every 3 weeks, you're gonna scale back that distance by a few miles as to not burn yourself out both mentally and physically. And this will also help decrease the risk of an injury. So, for example, you might run 12 miles one weekend, 13 the next, then 14. And the next weekend, you're actually gonna scale it back down to 12 again before jumping up to 15 miles on that 5th weekend. Most marathon training plans are going to have your peak long run at about 20 to 23 miles. But don't worry, with proper training, your body's going to know what to do on race day. And it's going to take advantage of the peak shape that you're in and all the extra rest and recovery you're giving your body while you're tapering the week before your race. So don't worry, you'll be ready. Hey, if you're liking the content that you're seeing here today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can catch all of our new videos that are coming out, all based around running and training and everything in between. It would really mean a big deal to myself and all of the other coaches here at the Run Experience that we know you're enjoying this video. So let's get back into the content so you can enjoy it. Speed work is a crucial component of your marathon training, no matter what the weather, because you never know what it's gonna be like on race day. Adding in some speedier sessions to your training plan is going to help increase your aerobic capacity and make your easy runs feel, well, easier. There are really 2 main types of speed work that you're gonna wanna focus on. The first one is intervals, where you have set specific times or distances that you wanna be hitting. These are gonna be repeated shorter distances, like a mile or under, and they're gonna be done much faster than your race pace. Think under 5K pace. Something like doing 6 times 800 meter repeats with about a 2-minute break in between at about an 8 or 9 out of 10 effort. The next up are tempo runs. Now these are done somewhere between 4 to 10 miles, depending where you are in your training. And these are done at a much slower pace than the intervals, but still going to be a pace that's challenging but sustainable for that period of time, really helping you dig deep into that mental grit that you need to run a marathon. This type of speed session teaches your body and your brain how to sustain that harder pace over a longer period of time, while also teaching yourself how to pace yourself. These tempo runs are gonna be done at a consistent pace, so you're gonna learn how your body feels at different paces, which when it comes to race day, you're gonna know exactly what paces you need to hit and how long you can hold certain paces without getting too burned out. Rest and recovery. Rest day is a day of no running. This allows your body to physically and mentally repair itself from the taxing workouts that you've been putting it through. The greatest upset for any marathoner is an injury, and one of the best ways to prevent injury is by recovering. But look, you don't have to just sit around on those rest and recovery days and wait for yourself to get better. You can be active with your recovery. You can do this by going for a walk, cycling, swimming, anything that's low impact, taking your doggies for a walk, as a matter of fact. That's my favorite way. You wanna make sure that you're keeping your muscles loose and fresh so that you can hit your workouts even harder and feel much better going into those long runs. So adding in some kind of yoga, stretching, and mobility where you're really getting deep into those muscles and massaging out any built up tension or stiffness is definitely a key component within your marathon training. And this is also gonna be a great way to prevent any compound symptoms that you may be having from the repetitiveness of running. If your nutrition isn't dialed in while you're training for a marathon, you're gonna end up with problems like maintaining your energy levels, underfueling, and intaking the proper amount of protein to help your muscles recover. Look, I know there's a lot of moving pieces in marathon training, so before we get to the last bit of information that you need to focus on when training for a marathon, I wanted to let you know that if you're looking for a place that has all of the training built in, the strength training, the speed work, the long runs in one spot so that you don't even have to think about it, well, then you're in luck, because that's what the coaches here at the Run Experience have done. We built an entire app with programs ranging from the 5K all the way up to the marathon and everything that you could possibly want in between, including extra strength training and injury prevention to keep you happy and healthy no matter what you're training for. So go ahead and download our app. The link is down in the description below. It's really a great place for any level of runner who just needs a little bit more structure and help with their training. So the number one tip while fueling for a marathon is, but if you need that explained a little bit more, why don't you check out this video coming up next from our coach and nutritionist, Elizabeth, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy marathon training!